Hi, my name is Catherine, and this is Accounting My Stitches, my YouTube channel where I talk about all things cross-stitch. Today is Sunday, July 27th. I'm recording a little bit early, but you will see this on Tuesday the 29th as usual. The first thing I have to show you is actually a SAFFO, a start and fully finish. Here it is. It is the freebie from Midsummer Stitch last weekend, I believe. The pattern is called Moon Wings by Lindy Stitches, but this was the freebie. It's on 28 count even weave, dyed by me. I just used Rit dye while I was at the event, and it was really fun because I was just getting input and support from other stitchers there at the time, and it was really nice. I used all the called for DMC, and then I even put a hoop butt in it, just a cardboard cutout. I used the tutorial from Catkin and Lily on how to do this. You just measure the very inside edge of your inside hoop onto cardboard, or you could use any number of fancy things. I just literally used a cardboard box. And then I even put the details on the back in case, I wanted to see that in the future. But yes, very happy to have this little SAFFO. It was 884 stitches total, if anyone cares. Now on to my usual whips. We will start with Compass with Corals by LightUnicornDesigns. This is what it looked like last time. It is on 18 count Zweigart Opal Eta using 2 strands. And here it is. I have done 814 stitches since you saw it last time for a total of 93%. I've been working up here in the top section. This is my Whip into Shape project. Although honestly, all this confetti is giving me fits. I think I'm going to put it away for a week or two and see how I feel about it. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Although I told y'all before, I have it in this bag from Emily the Pop-Up Stitcher, and I was having problems because I had all my floss on bobbins on a binder ring in here, and this bag stands up by itself. And so it's tight. And so putting those big bobbins in it, it was pushing against it. It was stretching the fabric. Well, I talked to Emily, the pop-up stitcher, and asked her what she used, and she gave me a recommendation. And so now I have all of my floss on this little thread keep, I suppose. But I have it all labeled by number because that's what works for me. I know some people use symbols. And she told me the way that she does it, which is different from the way that I do it, but I just put some masking tape over it and labeled it, and it's been nice. And then obviously as I finish the numbers, as I finish the floss of that color, I've been marking it off and putting it back with my others, and that's been a nice improvement just to keep my project bag a little smaller. Set that aside. Okay, the next project I'm going to show you is my Tree of Books by xCountingTheStarsx. This is what it looked like last time. I'm doing it on 16 count easy grid using 2 strands. Here it is. I've done 922 stitches. It's now at 14%. And am I at the corner? I'm not quite at the far right corner, but it's literally 2 more stitches. If you can look, last night I had some severe frogging issues. I don't even know if you can see. Obviously I'm using the grid, but I was here and I was looking, and the next part of the pattern I thought it was a diagonal square from that. So I worked in the diagonal square for I don't even know how many stitches. Honestly, it was probably less than 50, but it was a couple different colors. And then I realized that it wasn't a diagonal square, it was just one down. And so I had to frog 50 stitches or less, honestly, but it was annoying, and it has damaged the fabric, which I don't love, but it's still usable. So that's good. And I kind of made myself push through it, frog it, and then start to work replacing those stitches, or else I was afraid it was gonna have to go away. But I just pushed through and we're okay for now. The next project I will show you is Yesterday I Was Clever by Tiny Modernist. This is what it looked like last time. I'm doing it on 14 count silver Artiste Aida with 2 strands. And here it is now. I'm up to 54%. It's gotten 1,622 stitches since you've seen it last. I'm really pleased with how the pink is coming out. This orange I'm not in love with. I'm not sure if that was done last time or not, but it is what it is. The rest of the orange is coming out good, and the pink is really doing it for me. And actually this is not done. I actually found a charting error for Tiny Modernist, which kind of makes me feel special, although annoying that obviously I had to deal with that. It was charted here with a color that didn't match the image, which of course I didn't realize until I took a picture and was posting it to my Instagram. I was like, oh, those 2 colors don't match. And so I decided regardless I was going to frog it, but I reached out to Tiny Modernist just to let her know, and am I crazy or is this really a problem? And it was actually a problem. So she has since already updated it on her website, updated the PDFs, all as well. But yeah, so that's why the flower is not filled in. It'll be this darker gray color. It's not 310, but it does almost look like 310 on this fabric. Oh, and I'm purposefully leaving out, there's a cat here. There are some personalizations that I'm thinking about making to this pattern, but I'm not going to put them in until the rest of the pattern is in, just so I can have a better idea, of what I'm really working with. So I'm thinking about making that cat all black, like my cat, or using this, it's 3371. I think that's not black. It's actually a dark brown, but it looks black. And so I'm thinking about making that cat that color, but yeah, I'll put the rest of the chart in first. But yeah, so up to 54%, very exciting. Also, I have a new start to show you. It is Yosemite by VladaXStitch. If you've been watching since the beginning for a while, you know I've done several of the VladaXStitch patterns. I've done Tennessee and Iceland, and the idea for that is to have it up next to pictures from a trip there. And when I bought those patterns, I actually bought 4 of them, because it was if you buy 3 patterns, then you get 30% off or something. And I actually limited myself to 4 because I could have bought several, because it's oh, I've been there. And I was like, no, Catherine, I got 4 instead of 3. But anyway, so this is another one. And I'd intended on starting it earlier in the year, in January after I finished Iceland, but I just wasn't feeling like it. And so I didn't. But long story short, I've been feeling like it. I feel like the colors will be nice for fall, a good seasonal thing. I'll have the pattern up here if I haven't already. It has a lot of oranges and it's just beautiful. Yeah, so it's Yosemite by VladaXStitch. And here it is. I've put in 639 stitches. It is 7% complete. This is just 14 count Aida, 2 strands. And I actually have several color completions. I think 4. This blue, this green, and both of these grays, I believe, are already completed, which is nice. And yeah, this is gridded with fishing line. I think I mentioned in one of my earlier videos my trials and tribulations with gridding. I had been using a water-soluble marker, which I had no problems with, but long story short, I bought fishing line for the compass project, but it didn't work on that. It was leaving a residue, and I was going to start this piece in January, and so I gridded it with the fishing line just to test, and then I didn't start the project, but I kept the Aida in the bag, and yeah, here it is, gridded. And now I have some haul to show you. At Midsummer Stitch, I bought the moth pattern. It's it's a cross stitch pattern for the Midsummer logo, which I thought was just fun. And I had a really fun time at Midsummer Stitch. I got to talk to a bunch of Flosstubers, and the designer chats were great, and the Flosstube lives were fun. I had a really fun time, and so I wanted to buy that pattern. I don't really have strict plans on when I might start it, but I bought the pattern. Also, I bought some more project bag things from Emily the Pop-Up Stitcher, as I was mentioning. I got this Christmas bag. Something about it was just really speaking to me. I still have not started my Christmas project, and honestly, I probably won't until later in the year, but regardless, it's ready. I got the Christmas bag, and it has this fabric on the inside, just really fun, and the matching thread bed. And I wasn't really sold on the idea of thread beds, but when I bought the nautical bag, there was a matching thread bed that was sold at the same time. Thread bestie is what she calls them. That was being sold at the same time, but I didn't buy it because I wasn't sold on it. The biggest thing for me was, or the biggest reason that I felt like you might need it is to put your orts in here. But I was like, well, that's not a problem. Like, I just have a trash can wherever I'm stitching. It's not a big deal. But of course, sometimes there's not a trash can available, especially if you're stitching in the wild. Like at the library event that I was telling you all about that I went to, there's just not a trash can handy. And so I've been shoving it in the project bag, but I was like, it might be useful. And so the one I was definitively going to get was this one, which is just a fun, neutral, could work with any project. But when I was getting this project bag, I was like, I need to get the matching thread bestie. So here we are. So I bought 3 things from her, those 2 and this one, which is really fun. And I also got this floss winder off of Etsy, and it's not exactly what I wanted, but it's my fault. When it says floss winder 18-inch length, it wasn't clear to me if this was 18 inches or if it was like 9 inches that you wrap all the way around and cut on one end. And I had convinced myself that it was 18 inches wide. And then this, again, 24, I thought it was 24. In the description of the listing, it did say the whole thing was 12 inches. So I should have known better, but I didn't. I got confused. And so I wanted one that was 18 inches long to get me a 36-inch length, like a 1 yard, because that's how I had been doing it. I've been, as the internet has told me, brand new skein, you fold it in half 3 times, and there's your 1 length yards, and you cut it on both ends, and there you are. So I've been doing that, but as y'all know, it's easy to create knots doing that. Like, it's just hard to keep it all nice and tidy and like make it easy. And I was like, oh, I'll get myself a little winder. But so it's obviously not that long. I've only used it a few times, but I have just used this 12-inch length to get a 24. They're smaller than I'm used to, but it's fine for now. I might get a longer one at a later date, but it's fine for now. And also, the thing I'm most excited about, I got myself a cone of doom. This is the 450-yard version. There's also a 1,000-yard version, which I just didn't want to get at this exact moment. But 450 yards is equal to more than 50 skeins, and I'm just happy to have it. I did the math, and it doesn't actually save me that much money versus buying individual skeins, but I just wanted it, and so I have it. I'm very excited. It should last me at least a little while, and that is all I have to share with you right now. So going forward, I wish for you the serenity to accept the mistakes you cannot change, the courage to frog the ones you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye.